Okay, let's move to the topic. First, definition of table. A table is an arrangement of data in rows and columns, or possibly in a more complex structure. Tables are widely used in communication, research, and data analysis. Tables appear in print media, handwritten notes, computer software, architectural ornamentation, traffic sign, and many other places. The precise convention and terminology for describing tables vary depending on the context. Further, tables differ significantly in variety, structure, flexibility, notation, representation, and use in books and technical articles. Tables are typically presented apart from the main text in the numbered and captioned floating blocks. Table is your best friend when it comes to presenting a business presentation or report. It's just that most people do not know the context of its use. So what happens is the delivery of information that is complicated and difficult to understand. A table can be interpreted as a list that contains a summary of a number of data. Generally, the data in a table is in the form of numbers or words arranged in a certain order, and has a dividing line so that it is easier for readers to understand. In short, the table consists of columns as well as rows. The columns extend to the right, while the row extend downwards. Each column and row is then linked to the contents of the table, which are nothing but data. Next, I will explain about table features. To better understand what a table actually is, you need to know what the characteristics of a table look like. Below are the characteristics of a table that you need to know. 1. Contains information about the same subject or content data sets have been researched. 2. There is quantitative data, amount data, which contain absolute numbers. 3. There is description that is easy to use as reference. 4. The values shown in the table are the original unrounded values. Okay, next we move to the table function. As previously explained, a table is a list that contains a summary of a number of data. Therefore, the table has a number of functions and its use. Among them, the table makes it easy for readers because the data in the table is arranged systematically so that it is easier to understand. In addition, the table also functions to provide information about changes that have occurred in data. Whether it is increase or a decrease, even the table also serves to provide an overview to readers in the form of neatly arranged numbers. Types of table. Tables are often used to present data. In general, there are several types of tables that are often used based on the number of characteristics in the table. The table is divided into three types, namely one-way tables, two-way tables, and three-way tables. One-way table. A one-way table is a type of table that provides a description of only one characteristic. What is meant by characteristics are various things such as frequency, amount, content, size, and other things which are usually stated in numbers. This type of the table is the simplest and easiest type of the table to create. Two-way table. A two-way table is a type of table that presents the relationship between two characteristics. Examples includes tables containing data on the population by gender and age, religion and place of birth, or the number of students by gender and class, and many more. Three-way table. As the name implies, a three-way table is a type of table that presents the relationship between three characteristics at once, such as tables containing population data by district, gender, and age, or student data based on gender, religion, and major. For extras, I recommended you to create a table using Excel, because the benefit of making table in Excel is that it makes it easier to process and analyze the data you have. As for the activity sort, filter, and change the appearance, and ease in writing and using formula Excel. How to describe the table? For example, take a look at this table. The table showing the quality of life in 4 countries. The table used for economic indicator to show the standard of living in 5 selected countries in 1982. Overall, it can be seen that the quality of life in the USA was far higher than the other 4 countries. To begin, the USA, which as developed country, had the highest GNP at $13,160 per head. It also had a much higher daily calorie intake and life expectancy, and the lowest rate of infant mortality. The other developing countries had quality of life ratings that were significantly lower. The range of indicators for Egypt, Indonesia, and Bolivia were similar, with Egypt having the highest quality of life among the three. However, the infant mortality rate in Egypt was slightly higher than Indonesia at 97 deaths per 1,000 compared to 87 in Indonesia. Bangladesh had by far the lowest quality of life in all the indicators. Its GNP was 100 times smaller than USA. Its calorie intake and life expectancy were about half those of the USA, and its infant mortality rate was 10 times greater. Okay, I will give you one example how to describe the table. Look at the table. The table gives information about some of the world's most studied languages. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features, and make comparison where relevant. The table illustrates some interesting facts about some of the world's most popular languages to learn. It allows comparison between the number of people who study a language versus those people who speak it as a mother tongue, and show how many countries have speakers of each of the language. The promise of English is striking. 1.5 billion people are learning English compared to only 82 million studying the second most popular language to learn. French. English is spoken in 101 countries, roughly twice as many as French and 3 times more than Chinese. English is the only language with more learners than native speakers. In terms of native speakers, Chinese is the most spoken language, more than double English with 1.39 billion. It is the third most popular language to learn with 30 million learners. Spanish has over 5 times more native speakers than Italian, both proportionally fewer learners at 14.5 million for Spanish and 8 million for Italian. As for Japanese, it is the last studied language of those given with 3 million learners. Overall, more people are learning English than the other language combined, and English is spoken in the highest number of countries. However, Chinese has by far the greatest number of native speakers. There seems to be little correlation between how many native speakers there are of a language and the number of learners. But there is a stronger link between the number of learners and how many countries have speakers. For the last, I will give you a tips to describe a table. Number 1. Start by saying what information is shown. If you are writing an action, try to avoid repeating the same word as the question. Example, the table illustrates some interesting fact about some of the world's most popular language to learn. Number 2. In the second paragraph, give an overview of the most important features of the information. Number 3. Be selective and choose the key observation and trends. You don't have to write about every single detail. Number 4. Divide your observation into paragraphs about different aspects of the data. A concluding paragraph is not always necessary. Number 5. Don't use your own general knowledge to give reason for the data or to add more information than is shown. The question only requires you to summarize and report the data in the table. Number 6. Use a variety of structure.